Snow White and the Seven Little Friends. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there was a beautiful princess named Snow White. She had skin as white as snow, lips as red as roses, and hair as black as ebony. Snow White lived in a grand castle with her stepmother, the queen, who was very jealous of her beauty. The queen had a magical mirror that she would ask every day, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror would always reply, "You are the fairest, my queen." But one day, the mirror said, "Snow White is the fairest of them all." The queen was furious. She ordered her huntsman to take Snow White deep into the forest and make sure she never returned. But the kind huntsman couldn't hurt her. He told Snow White to run far away and never look back. Snow White ran through the forest, scared and alone, until she came across a little cottage. Inside, everything was tinny chairs, tiny tables, and tiny beds. Snow White was so tired, she lay down on the beds and fell fast asleep. When she woke up, she was surrounded by 7 little friends. They were dwarfs with kind faces, named Happy, Grumpy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, Dopey, and Doc. "Who are you?" asked Snow White, rubbing her eyes. "We're the 7 little friends. We live here in the enchanted forest and take care of nature," said Doc. Snow White told them her story, and they invited her to stay with them. They all quickly became good friends. Back at the castle, the queen was furious when the mirror said that Snow White was still the fairest in the land. Disguising herself as an old peddler woman, she prepared a poison apple and set off to find Snow White. The queen found Snow White in the forest, happily singing with the animals. "Would you like a delicious apple, dear?" the disguised queen asked, holding out the shiny red fruit. Snow White, unaware of the danger, took a bite. As soon as she did, she fell to the ground, fast asleep. The 7 little friends found Snow White lying still and pale. They were heartbroken and placed her in a glass bed, hoping she would wake up. One day, a kind prince who had heard stories of Snow White came to the forest. He saw her and was so moved by her beauty and kindness that he gently kissed her on the forehead. To everyone's surprise, Snow White opened her eyes. The spell was broken and she was awake again. The 7 little friends danced and cheered with joy. Snow White thanked her little friends for their love and care. The prince invited Snow White to live with him in his kingdom, and she said goodbye to the dwarfs, promising to visit often. Together, Snow White and the prince rode off to the castle, where they lived happily ever after. And the 7 little friends continued to protect the enchanted forest, always remembering their sweet friend, Snow White. Thank you for watching. Don't forget subscribe, share, and like for more video.